Welcome to Best I Can Do Golf, the channel where we're going to have a lot of fun on this golf journey that many of us are on, no matter if you are a scratch golfer, a mid-handicapper, or you're lucky to break 120. This is a channel that's going to be for you guys. Looking forward to starting here. The name Best I Can Do came from my grandpa. He is one of the pivotal people in my life, and he is disgustingly accurate and consistent on a golf course, and so he actually made this tagline famous. As I grew up and we golfed with him, he'd be dead accurate off the tee or hitting a wedge into the green, whatever it might have been, and his famous line was always, "That's the best I can do." So this is Best I Can Do Golf. This is a tribute to not only him, but to golfers everywhere. I think we've all probably said that line once or twice playing before. So today, for this first video, we're gonna try out some shot tracers. I wanna explore these to see how accurate they are. I want to see how easily they'll be to put into the videos because I want to include them in the videos going forward for you guys, but I've never used them before. So I downloaded a couple from the iPhone App Store. We're going to see how accurate they are, see how good they are. So let's get into today's video. It's good to see you guys. So today we are actually at Currie's Par 3. This is a local course to me, and this is a blast from the past. This was the very first course that I ever played back when I was first learning to golf. I was about 12 years old at the time, and I used to use my cart, my bag cart, loop it around the stem of my bike seat and ride here like 5 days a week to play this Par 3. So this is a great blast from the past, and it's a really tight green. We're gonna basically work on some wedges today and try out some new jaws that we have in the bag, a 60 and a 48. Keep it really simple. Like I said, my focus today is just to work on the shot tracing and see if this technology actually works and if it's something that we can continue to use. So just a quick look at the bag setup. Like I said, this is the Sunday Loma bag. I actually just recently got this, and this is the quintessential, in my opinion, driving range Par 3 or 6 club challenge bag. It weighs basically nothing. It has a cooler pocket, and it holds basically the balls, the tees, the essentials that you would need for just a simple walking 9 holes or 18, whatever you want to do. So I'll do a further review on this bag down the line. But today, again, this course doesn't go any longer than 140, so I got a 48 and a 60 jaws, the Ping G400 stock pitching wedge, and then obviously the putter. So simple setup today, guys. This first hole is 120. Very tight green right down the middle. That's the way all these Par 3 greens are in this course. Very tight, very small, and you don't get a lot of spin on them, so you got to be very accurate with your distance control. So for this first hole, it's calling 120 to center. I'm gonna hit about a 75% 48 degree, try and hit the front edge and let it just leak right up to the hole. So when I was younger, I lost many a balls in this pond over here to the right on this first hole. Of course, being a lot younger back then, you're hitting a lot more club. Your swing is not developed. You're shanking them a lot. So I probably donated about 150 to 200 golf balls to that pond. A lot of top flight XL 2000s in there, I'm sure. But it used to be back when this Par 3 was a lot more visited, a lot more played. They would actually maintain that. The water was nice and clean and clear. Now, as you can tell, it's essentially a frog haven. Walking up to our first shot here. Distance control was pretty good. I'm happy with that. That 75% 48 degree. Landed about right where I would have wanted. I obviously wanted to be a little bit right so I could have hit on the front edge and hopefully released a little bit. The pin is uphill. So we just have like a simple little wedge here. We're gonna play it left of the stick and try to let it roll in. Not great. Definitely didn't commit to that swing. I have noticed that is the one thing that I'm struggling with consistently on my chipping, especially when I watch back replays, is that on that follow through, like my practice swings are very fluid. I'm committing to it, and then I have like a nice release through the ball. On my actual shots, my swing changes. So on the follow through, you can see, especially on that last one, basically I'm falling through like 40% as opposed to having a nice complete follow through. So I got to work on that. It's just like a mental thing. I'm not trusting my swing. Obviously, when you skull a chip, that starts to get into the back of your head, and so that's like the last thing you might think of as you're coming through the ball, especially with like a tighter lie. That one was fluffed up pretty good, but that's the toughest part about chipping with me. So if you guys have any suggestions about how to just train your brain to do complete follow-throughs even on those short chips, I'd love to hear the comments. All right, this one's gonna be left to right. It's uphill, so I wanna make sure I give it a good run. Got my line set up, now I just need to trust the speed. Go. In for par. And I will say, I finally pulled the trigger this year and replaced like my decade-plus-year-old Odyssey 2-ball with this 2021 Ping Fetch. For me, instantly, as soon as I picked up this putter, just the balance blew me away. Incredibly, incredibly balanced. It also has this handy ball pickup retrieval tool, which is kind of gimmicky to some, but I actually find it pretty useful. But also the big seller for me was the 3 identifier lines on the top, especially the way I usually mark my golf balls. That is so confidence inspiring inside of 10 feet. I cannot even describe it. So I'll do a further in-depth review of this putter down the line. I think it looks beautiful, but the performance is absolutely blowing me away so far. I've had it for probably about 2 weeks, and I just cannot rave enough about this putter. All right, guys, hole 2. Very similar to the last, plays a little bit longer. Straight down the middle. Hovering on the left side over here is actually number 9 on the East course. That's a par 4, that's a really fun hole. We'll play that course here in the near future. But this one, again, like I said, straight down the middle, a little bit larger green, and it definitely runs left to right. A lot of times, if you hit near the flag and you don't put enough spin on it, it's gonna definitely trickle off that right side. I miss right on this green quite a bit. Obviously, part of that is the green, and frankly, part of it is just my golf swing. So see if we can stick it close to the pin today. I'm gonna play the same club, give it maybe just a little bit more of a swing, see what happens. Hit it right where I wanted to, but again, just hit it a little bit light. Gonna be close. Could have been better. It is so ridiculously hot today. I want to say with the humidity, absolutely no wind. Yeah, we're definitely probably pushing 95 or 100 today. This towel is gonna get saturated quick. There's 1 bottle of water in my bag. Obviously no beverage service on this little par 3 course, so I'm gonna try to get through these 9 holes without dehydrating. We'll see what we can do. We'll play a couple. Like I said, really what we're trying to do today is just test out this shot tracer. By now, chances are, if you haven't seen any shot tracers in this video, it's because I wasn't impressed with the editing process in post, and I'll have to explore other options because I know that there's solutions out there. I see it in videos, and it's really good shot tracing. So I got to do a little bit more digging. If there hasn't been any traces up to this point, that means we got to keep searching. So like I said, here's where we ended up. Not great, not terrible. It was right on my line. I wanted to be hitting on this edge, leaking onto the green, and then it would have rolled toward the pin. So my line was real solid. I just hit it a little bit soft. I was not 100% sure on the distance because I'm still getting used to where I need to set up the camera in relation to the ball to get this tracing to work, hopefully. So the distance was a little bit off. But no excuse. I should have put a little bit better swing on it to get it there. But now we just have a chip on and hopefully chip it in or get it close for a tap in. Just want to make sure I commit to this one. Give myself something close. Don't want to leave it way short here, so just want to make sure I put enough on it. You know, honestly, I'm not too mad about that. Line was pretty solid. I just need to give it a little bit more. Still figuring out the distances here with this 60. Let's go take a look at it, see where we're at. All right, guys, we got about an 8-footer left over. As you can see, it's gonna be a little bit left to right here. Probably gonna aim about 3 inches left outside edge and hopefully get the speed right. She'll just drop in at the end there. All right, Shortest hole on this par 3, yes, you're reading that correctly. It is literally 85 yards. On a good day, into the wind, it probably plays 85. Most days it plays more like 72 or so to the front edge. So I'm gonna hit the 60 here, hit it soft, give it probably about a 3/4 swing. And again, you wanna hit the front edge on the screen for sure, because it definitely kind of has a bowl shape in the middle. It leaks down towards the pin if you're short of the pin. If you go long, it's gonna go real long, and there's woods back there. It's just gonna run off the backside. So definitely wanna be short left is the place to be on this hole. It gives you a good putt opportunity. All right, about pin high, a little work to do. If you could only have one wedge in your bag, which one would it be? Curious to know your thoughts and your reasonings behind that. I know some people can do some really crazy open face, like 50-degree type shots, and they could leave a 60 out of the bag or a 58 out of the bag. I know some guys need to have that launch angle to get spin, so they would just try to overswing like a 58 instead of having a 50 in the bag. So curious, which do you guys prefer and why? So sad moment when you realize you dropped your sweat towel back on the last hole. Luckily, it's only about a 100-yard walk. Yoink. Back safe and sound. All right, guys, so like I said, landed pretty much exactly where I wanted to on that shot. I actually would have liked to be a little bit short of that so that it could have hit and released. That was an unexpected cart visit. That never happens. MVP of the day right there. Got some Powerades. Man, I'm good to go now. All right, guys, so we landed good on the shot. I actually probably would have preferred to land a little bit shorter than I did. I think I landed on the actual surface. I'll look for the divot, but I would prefer to be a little bit shorter there, so it would have checked a little bit of that speed and then rolled a little bit closer to the pin. As you can see, it rolled past a little bit. Still a makeable putt. Looks like we got about 10 feet. And from this side of the flag, like I said, you don't want to be right. The hill coming back up over there is very slippery, not fun at all. But from this angle, we're pretty much just flat, straight at it, maybe left edge at best. So let's try to put a run on this putt, get in for a birdie, get that stroke back. So I'm sure the suspense is killing you on that putt. Temperature overheated the iPhone, probably sitting in the sun a little bit too much, so I had to wait for it to cool down. But I pulled the putt. Obviously you saw I missed left. I came back around, had like a 4-foot tap in back up. Dropped it in for the par, so we're still +1 through 3. Now we're on number 4, it plays 135, one of the longer holes on this par 3. It's a slope green towards you the whole way. I'll show you guys here in a second. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit the 48 again here, try to put about a 130 swing on it, see if I can't stick it close. Yeah, watching that little putt footage back, you can see that the club face of the putter actually, after I make contact with the ball, finishes closed. So, it tells me that I'm kind of pulling through the ball a little bit as opposed to making sure that my follow through is actually perfectly straight. So I need to make sure that I'm paying attention to that, because that pull was definitely preventable, and the line was good, just didn't put a good swing on it. So let's go ahead and see what we can do here on this 135 hole. Like I said, 48 in hand. This is a pretty good range for this club without over swinging it. So let's try to be accurate here. Go right at the stick or just a little bit left of it. Make it push. Well, right distance, unfortunately, very pushy. Well, here's what we ended up, guys. Like I said, distance, absolutely spot on. That would have been a great leave. Just pushed it as addressed, and stayed right the whole way. So that's unfortunate, but like I said, this is a good side to miss on. You have some green to work with over here versus missing it on the left side. you have no green to work with, especially with today's flag location. So we're gonna try to get the 60 out, chip this up. We wanna be obviously on this top ridge over there, getting enough backspin on it to where if it does release, it's only gonna trickle down to the cup, not run across and make us putt back up that hill. So let's see what happens. Well, I will take that 100 times out of 100 because for me, that is an exceptionally good chip shot from around the green. Like I said, that's a tough one for me. Usually I'm working on that big time. My chipping lately has been the weakest, by far the weakest part of my game. I love these wedges. I'm still getting used to these wedges, but for me, that type of greenside control with that wedge is kind of few and far between right now. So I'm really happy to see that. Hopefully we can get a few more before this 9 holes is done, but gotta love it when that happens. All right, number 5, 130 hole. But yeah, 130 to this green. This is probably the safest green on the course because the entire thing slopes down, directly down towards you to the tee box. So it almost acts as a backstop. So try and put a 125 swing on this, shoot for center green, see what happens. I've yet to really stick one close with this club. I've been good on distance, but haven't quite hit my line yet. So let's see if we can't stick this 48 close from 130. Keep that front foot open so I can rotate through the ball. Just a little long, guys. That's what I didn't want to do there. It's a little deceiving on the distance. The way I have to have the camera set up compared to the ball, I'm probably about 6 or 7 yards in front of that 130 read. So yeah, that could have accounted for it, or I just hit it a little bit more flush than I was anticipating, but we'll see. Let's go take a look. Like I said, safest green on the course, and I couldn't land at the right distance. Would love to have that swing back. But like I said, we went deep here for sure. Just on the back side of this hill. This is a less than thrilling chip shot now because we got to come up this hill. We really want to land it in the thick cut still. Try and check as much speed as possible because everything slopes really quick down towards the front. So let's see what we can do here. Well, guys, that is quite literally exactly why I hate going deep on greens that are set up like this. They're just designed to be so player advantage here if you would just hit the right distance. I mean, it gives you a backstop. Went ahead and chipped that one, and of course, didn't put the right touch on it, ran past the hole, and now we're sitting near the other front edge of the green. So we got about a, I don't know, probably about a 25 footer, 30 footer back up the hill, a lot of right to left. Let's get it close. This is not a fun putt. Just gotta get the speed. Wow. No break whatsoever. Speed was great. Completely misjudged the break there. I thought for sure it was gonna leak back down to the left a decent amount, and it just stayed up the whole time. So all right, gave them back 2 over. All right, so we're 2 over through 5. I'm actually gonna skip 6 and 7 because they're just frankly awful holes. They feel like major afterthoughts on what is otherwise a pretty fun, well-kept little par 3. So I'm gonna go over to 8, play 8, 9, and honestly after that, I think my phone battery might die, so might not get a full 9 in today, but really we're just out here having a good time, hopefully getting the shot tracer to work, and just enjoying the day. So hopefully you guys have been enjoying this video so far, If you do, feel free to click that thumbs up and subscribe, of course. Got a lot of cool ideas for content for you guys. There's a lot of amazing courses in this state and beyond, and looking forward to taking you guys along for the adventure. So let's get to number 8 here. It's about a 130 hole. It's protected by trees, so let's see if we can't finally, let's put one close. Let's put one close here with the 48 and try and finally give ourselves a nice tap in for birdie. Let's try to put a good, it looks like it's playing shorter than the distance is saying, so I'm actually gonna take some off this club. I'm probably gonna put about a 115, 120 swing on it. Try and just shoot left of the flag. It's tracking if it's the distance. Oh, the tree caught it. Be okay. I think we gave ourselves a putt, guys. So you can see what I mean when I say that this green is guarded with a canopy of trees. That shot felt really good. It was tracking exactly where I wanted. Felt like it had a lot of spin on it. I think it just caught the end of that branch right there, which changed the ball flight on me. And I think basically made it so that when it hit, it didn't have any spin and it released to the back edge. So I think if it would have avoided that, there's some down limbs. If it would have avoided that, I think we would have been probably about 15 feet closer at least. But instead, we have this really fun, not fun, putt that is downhill and is gonna be quite a leaker. All right, in for par. All right, guys, this is the last hole we'll play today. Saying about 115, 113 or so from here. It's a little bit outside my 60 range without over swinging it, which I don't like to do. So I'm actually gonna hit the 48 here and try to hit it softer. See if I can actually keep the ball flight a little bit lower, take those trees out of the equation. Well guys, this is where we ended up. Probably about a 16, 18 footer, right edge of the cup, a little bit uphill from there. We did exactly what we wanted. We kept it low, hit that thick cut, checked a lot of the speed, and then it rolled up, left us this putt for a birdie attempt. To close out our little mini 7-hole session here, dropping this would put us at 1 over for the day. Let's try and drop this and get on out of here. Wanted it, guys. Wasn't gonna leave it short. Well guys, that's the video for today. We finished 2 up through 7. Phone's about to die, so we're gonna call it. Hit some good ones, hit some not so great ones. At the end of the day, just being on the golf course is a win in of itself. So just like life, just like golf, find the silver lining, celebrate those small victories. Was today the best that I can do? No. Finishing 2 up, there's obviously room for improvement. That almost chipping, I think it was on number 4, is that the best I can do? Yeah, pretty freaking close. I was pretty happy with that shot. So I'm gonna celebrate that victory tonight on that chip shot alone. Work on my game again next time out, and of course bring you guys along. Got a lot of ideas for some great content from course reviews, gear reviews, challenge holes, challenges, and some ideas to just help us all remember why we love the game of golf so stinking much. So as always, I appreciate your guys' support. If you enjoyed the video, click that thumbs up and subscribe. It helps me out a lot, helps spread the word about our content. Until the next video, get out, play safe, and ask yourself, is that the best that I can do? See you next time.